Hey, so I'm doing another video, even though I literally made a video saying I need to not do so much so that my throat doesn't, fucking explode or something. Obviously, I never listen. And usually when I say I'm going to do something, that means I'm going to probably do the opposite because I don't know, I'm stubborn and I don't like not doing things. So, anyway, I kind of figured I'd talk about, I don't know, I guess something from my past or something personal, kind of. And I mean, it's not like super deep personal where I'm not gonna like reveal something, be like, I like to wear thongs or fucking some weird shit like that, which I don't like to wear thongs. I mean, I don't even think I've ever seen a thong in real life. Jesus Christ. I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. The point is, it's not like I'm like saying something that's like revealing some deep dark secret. Not to mention, a lot of the time when it comes to like weird shit I've done, I don't really have a lot of shame in that department. Meaning, if someone wanted to know something like really fucking weird, I'd probably be pretty open to just be like, yeah, I did this really fucking weird thing. Like, I don't know. I don't have a lot of shame in some things. What's weird is I have shame in things that you shouldn't have shame in. Like, for example, like outside of these videos, like I don't like talking about like the fact that I love Pokemon, but I will never talk about Pokemon to anyone outside of making these videos where I sometimes talk about Pokemon. But I will never talk. Oh fuck! Almost dropped my phone. I'll never talk about Pokemon to other people because I'm like ashamed that I like Pokemon. I'm like that's something I feel shame in, the fact that I like Pokemon, and like I feel more shame in talking about a game that I like. And that's like something's like, oh, well, why would you feel fucking shame with that? It's just something I like. But like I could literally talk about like something really fucking weird I did when I was like 12 or 13 or something. And it could be like really gross. It has to do with me being naked or something, which I don't think I've ever really done anything weird that would require me to be naked. But if I did have a story like that, I'd probably just be like, "Oh yeah, I did that thing." And, like I don't have a lot of shame with it. But this isn't that. I mean, it kind of is because the drawing part. But anyway, the point is, I'm talking about how when I was younger, I used to draw, and then as I got older, I stopped drawing and started writing. And I don't really write too much anymore. I still do write from time to time, but I don't write anything of like significant value. Like I don't write like stories. I don't write uh anything. Like I kind of just like write down these like minuscule things. Like I don't know. I guess I'll get to that since I'm just like this is about like the fact that I used to draw and write. So when I was younger, about second grade is when I started drawing. And here's the thing: like when you're like a young lad, a young lad of young age, you eventually grow to an age where you become like a fucking like an overly horny moron of sorts. Obviously, not all guys, because like there's some guys who just like completely miss that shit. But the weird thing is I was like a weirdly like perverted kid before like an age where like it was expected, right? Because like most people would wait till they were like 13, 14, and then that's the age where they start like looking at girls' asses when they walk down the hallway. But the weird thing is I never did that. I did that through drawing. In second grade, I used to draw like boobs and shit. Like I literally would draw like perverted stuff when I was literally just in second grade, and then like in third grade, and most people in my class would be like ew because like they were at that age where they were like girls have cooties, and like it was weird because it was like it felt weird because it's like I was immediately like a perverted kid before I was at the age where it was expected for like a boy to like be like, oh man, I'm really into girls now, because at that age you're supposed to like think girls have cooties. You're supposed to be like, ew, I don't want to talk to a girl, like that kind of thing. But I wasn't like that. Instead, I was a complete fucking pervert when I was, and I say it like that, like, oh, I was a complete fucking pervert. I wasn't like a pervert. Like I never did anything weird, right? I was never that type of person. I didn't like doing that. So like I basically just drew. I think let's be honest, I think I have more of a thing for like fictional females than I do real females, which is kind of a problem, but at the same time I don't really care. But when I was younger, I used to draw that kind of shit a lot. I used to draw a lot of perverted things because I don't know why. I was just a weird kid and I was like fascinated by it. I was like, oh my god, boobs are so cool. And then obviously I got older and I remember in fifth grade, I drew a picture that was like kind of just like a weird picture where it was just me like making something stupid. And in fifth grade, I drew a picture. It was a cereal box, right? And the cereal was just called Dix. That was it. And it was just dick shaped cereal. That was it. Like that was the whole point of the box. It was dick shaped cereal. And I also drew like a little thing, you know, like how sometimes on cereal boxes it'll be like, now comes in chocolate or now comes with strawberry, you know? Like they have that little thing that's like, hey, this brand of cereal now has another flavor, right? I literally put on it like now comes with Harry Dicks. And I was like, I was in fifth grade and I was like losing my shit about that. I was like, oh, I just drew dick cereal. And I remember at some point a kid in my class found it and he literally turned it into the teacher and the teacher called my mom, of course, my mom didn't come. Instead, it was my mom's girlfriend, the bad person. And her first instinct, instead of, you know, doing what most parents would do, is scolding the child and be like, hey, don't do that. She took me to a fucking mental asylum and she made me sit down with an interview to have me committed because I was in fifth grade drawing dick cereal. So because I drew dick cereal in school, instead of taking me home and scolding me or just giving me or the school giving me detention, my mom's terrible girlfriend literally tried to have me committed because I drew dick cereal. And it's like I don't even know if you're allowed to commit a fifth grader, but she fucking tried. And it was like, dude, I just drew dick cereal. It's not that deep. I'm not crazy. I was literally a fucking kid that was like laughing about dicks. Like, it was funny to me. And obviously, as I got older, I still drew weird things. But eventually, my arms started getting like too shaky. Like, I couldn't like draw anymore because like I couldn't do straight lines anymore. My arms shake too much. I'm not very good at sitting still and my arms I can't keep them straight, so I stopped drawing because I couldn't keep my arms straight and I just couldn't do straight lines or anything. So drawing became like impossible because I was constantly shaking. And it wasn't like some like thing where it's like it reveals like, oh, I have some medical problem or like early Parkinson's or something, but it was just like I had shaky arms and I just couldn't keep my drawing straight. So it was just kind of like, whatever, I guess I'll just stop drawing. Well, then I decided I'm going to start writing, right? And most of my writing, I don't really remember most of it. I just remember that it was kind of just like it was kind of just me like testing like I don't know like building characters, building a world. It was just me kind of like writing like in the year blah 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 in the world of blah, Tom Fuckman walked into a store and slipped on a banana peel. I don't know. It was like kind of like learning. It was kind of like learning how to like structure sentences, correct punctuation, fixing grammatical errors. It was kind of just like me teaching myself to be a little better at writing, right? And eventually I did start writing like actual things with attempts, and they were all bad, obviously, because I was like what, like 14 or 15 when I was like writing stories. And like, let's be real, most 14 and 15-year-olds couldn't write a story that, you know, made anyone interested. It would kind of just be like something where you'd be like, what the fuck is this? And that was kind of all my writing. It was just kind of nothing. And as I got older, I didn't really continue writing exactly. Instead, I talked about in a pre-show that I like the games with character creation because I like creating characters. I'm not good at world building. I'm not good at making a lot of things when it comes to writing, because writing, you need to build a character, you need to build a world, you need to build a time period, you got to build certain aspects. And I wasn't good at building those. The only thing that I liked doing was creating characters and building, personalities and making characters with life in them. And that was the one thing that I did do. And so any writing I did was not really writing a story as much as it was writing about a character. There's the name, age, height, weight, who are they, here's their person, here's like everything about them, here's their life, their personality, where they come from, what they do, and that's kind of what I did with writing after that is I didn't really write stories anymore. It was more just like I made characters. So it was basically like I created these characters, and if I ever needed the characters, I could use the characters for something. But at the end of the day, I didn't write anymore, so the characters were just characters that I created for the sake of it. And my imagination's a lot more active than what I can really put into words with writing because I can like picture the like when I make a character, I can picture the character to a T in my mind. I can put them in a world like my imagination's pretty fucking active. And it feels like sometimes I talk to people who talk about like imagination, they're like, I can't even picture like someone I know in my head, and I'm like, how? Like, and I kind of thought that was just like normal for like everyone's brain that you could just like picture weird shit. Cause like I could literally play like an entire movie in my head on repeat if I wanted to. I could literally create a person I've never seen before and have them do like a backflip. But some people I've talked to are like, "Oh yeah, I can't even like picture like a word in my head." And I'm like, "Really?" So, I used to write a lot. I used to draw a lot. My arms got shaky. I couldn't draw. I wasn't good at building worlds, so I stopped writing. So now I just create characters. And to this day, I still create characters because I love creating characters. And if I have a game with like character creation in it, what I like to do is I like to give myself like a more visual representation of what they would look like. But obviously, when you make a character, you start with the personality, their life, you start with the internals, then you work on the external. So it's basically I build a character, what is their personality, who are they, what are they going to do, and then I build the outside layer, and here's what they're going to look like, right? That comes after. But I love creating characters. That's about all I do. I can't write anymore. I can't build worlds anymore. It's just too fucking hard for me. And I wish my arms didn't shake because I just can't draw anymore. So, dude, I'm not lying though. If I could still draw, I'd be making that fucking big perverted shit on the internet. Like you would have to go to Rule 34 to see the shit I'd make. Let's be real. Okay? I like perverted things. It's not necessarily coming from a perverted place as much as I just like perversion. I'm stupid, I think. I don't know. Or maybe I'm not. But I'm not but hey, the upside is at least I'm not a pervert to other people. I'm just a pervert when it comes to like anime girls and shit. Anyway, I don't know what the fuck this was. I think I have brain damage. I also have throat damage, but that's my fault for continuing to make videos. But anyway, yeah, I used to draw, I used to write, and I like drawing perverted things. Probably won't be able to ever again. Who knows? Maybe at some point my arm will straighten itself out. Probably not. But we can only hope. Or maybe we don't, because maybe some people don't want to see that. But I do, because I'm dumb. Anyway, I don't know what this was. So, yeah, whatever.